Multi-step unit conversions. We did one of those because we did centimeters to kilometers. And so you've got more than one step. This is like, I think of these problems as a little bit like trying to get from one side of the creek to the other. And sometimes it's narrow enough that you can jump across. And other times you need to find a stepping stone. And sometimes you might need to find several stepping stones because it's really wide. And you could go one path through the stepping stones and somebody else might go on another. But it's all good. I can't remember all of these. Okay, let's do this one. If you're interested in the other two, they're on YouTube. Because this one's just a little more confusing. A running track measures 1,056 feet per lap to run 15.0 kilometers. How many laps should you run? 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. Purple because aliens don't wear hats, right? We can do this. So we read through the problem. Now we want to go back and pick out the numbers and write them down with their units. So I've got 1,056 feet per lap. That means divided by lap, right? Feet per lap. Let's just extend that line and make it one fraction. So anytime you see per, those units are divided. And then we have 15.0 kilometers. And I'm not going to write this down because it's so nice right there. And then, so those are all the numbers. We've got too many numbers now. We don't know which one to start with. Let's figure out what we're shooting for. What are we asked? What's the question? How many laps? Okay, so that's where we're going. How many laps? So let's figure out what to start with. Well, this kind of looks like a conversion factor, doesn't it? That's 1,056 feet is 1 lap. So I could tip that upside down. That's a relationship between feet and laps. This is a relationship between miles and feet. 15 kilometers, that's not going to convert anything. Okay? So this is what I'm starting with. So I'm trying to get from kilometers to laps. I have to figure out how. Well, let's look at what we've got here. You can start at the beginning and work this way. You can start at the end and work backwards. Sometimes you kind of have to do both and hope you meet up in the middle. If I look at this guy, this relates laps and feet, right? So if I had feet, I could get to laps using that. And what about this? That relates feet and miles, right? So if I got miles, I could use that relationship to get from miles to feet. And now I have to figure out how to get from kilometers to miles.
Do you know how many miles are in kilometers?
Yeah, so if we don't know that in our heads, then we could look it up, because this is not an exam problem. So, does anybody know what that is?
0.621.
0.621. That sounds good. And that is miles equals 1 kilometer. Because we have to have it the right direction.
0.621 would go into a kilometer from a mile.
So which is longer? I can't remember. The other one is 1.6. Yeah, I think the mile is the bigger one. Okay, so this is scary, what we're doing right here. Okay, because we don't know if this is right. Ooh.
Like 400.
Hey Siri, how many miles in 1 kilometer?
What would you like to convert into miles?
Kilometers.
1 kilometer is 1 kilometer. I wish they were all this easy.
We said how many miles in a kilometer, right?
How many miles in 1 kilometer?
That would be 0.62 miles.
Thank you. Okay. That was painful. But humorous, right? Okay.
So the kilometer is smaller.
Yeah, kilometers smaller. Okay, so we got a relationship. And asking Siri is fine. You can't do it on an exam. This is our path now, okay? So we have to count up arrows, 3 arrows. So I'm going to start with 15 kilometers, and I'm going to have 3 fractions because I had 3 arrows. You could also, well, actually on this one, you couldn't get Siri to do this one for you because she doesn't know about this particular track. That's why we make up problems like this. Kilometers to miles to feet to laps. Kilometers to miles to feet to laps. That's not so hard, right? This is the hard part, finding the path. When you're good at this, you might not have to write the path down anymore. If you're struggling with this and you ask me for help, I want to see what you've at least tried. I want to see units with arrows between them, okay?
Oh, I see.
Kilometers go down here, so they cancel out. Miles go down here, so they cancel out. Feet go down there, so they cancel out. It's like magic, but it's not magic. I already established that I knew relationships. So here, this one's at the top. A mile is 5,280 feet. So this is the one that has feet and miles. 1 mile, 5,280 feet. This is the relationship between laps and feet. 1 lap is 1056 feet. The units tell me where to put the numbers. And then the one we had so much trouble with, 1 kilometer, 0.621 miles.
So this is not exact?
That's not exact, no. Because this is between miles and kilometers. Metric and English. So 15 times 0.621 times 5280 divided by 1056 equals 46.575, and the unit that's not crossed out is laps. Now, Sig Figs, this is exact, so we don't have to think about that. Is this one exact?
Well, it's saying that particular...
Exactly one lap is 1,056 feet, but feet is measured. So the 1,056 is not exact. So this would be 4 sig figs. But then this one's even fewer. This is 3 sig figs, and that's 3. So our answer should have 3. So 46.6 laps. Bless you. If we ended up with 5,000 laps, would that be reasonable? What if we ended up with 0.2 laps? That wouldn't be reasonable either.